This LOS is describe mechanisms to manage stakeholder relationships and mitigate associated risks. Overview of stakeholder management. To help balance these interests, corporate governance and stakeholder management frameworks reflect a legal, contractual, organizational, and governmental infrastructure that defines the rights, responsibilities, and powers of each group. Globally, there is a growing movement among regulators and practitioners to more effectively balance the interests of all stakeholders. Mechanisms of stakeholder management. The first that we'll look at is general meetings. Corporate laws grant shareholders certain powers and controls. The participation of shareholders in general meetings, also known as general assemblies, and the exercise of their voting rights are among the most influential tools available. Proxy voting is a process that enables shareholders who are unable to attend a meeting to authorize another individual, for example, another shareholder or director, to vote on their behalf. Proxy voting is the most common form of investor participation in general meetings. Cumulative voting, as opposed to straight voting, enables each shareholder to accumulate and vote all his or her shares for a single candidate in an election involving more than one director. Continuing with mechanisms of stakeholder management, the next that we'll look at is board of director mechanisms. In companies with complex ownership structures and operations, it is impractical for shareholders to be involved in strategy formulation and day-to-day activities. Shareholders thus elect a board of directors to provide broad oversight of the company. Shareholders monitor the board's performance through exercise of voting power and participation in other meetings. So some other mechanisms that are in the text, and we're not going to go through these in detail, it's meant to be a review, are the audit function, reporting and transparency, policies on related party transactions, compensation policies, say on pay, contractual agreements with creditors, employment laws and contracts, contractual agreements with customers and suppliers, and finally, laws and regulations. And that's the last slide for this LOS. Thank you.